Welcome back to Digi Bros. We're just fighting two things.
I know you. You're Mellow Mike.
What's up, Mellow Mike? What were we talking about? Last episode we were talking about no longer feeling starstruck when meeting people. I also don't really feel any kind of social anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because ever since high school, I've dressed like an idiot, right?
Yes.
I wear like pajama pants and anime shirts and all that shit, and like for a really long time, in spite of the fact that I dressed that way unapologetically, I was still self-conscious about it in public. I still can be a little bit, especially when it comes to like pony shirts, because I'm not that into the show anymore. Yes. I don't want to feel like I'm, I think I talked about this already on a different episode. But I don't want to feel like I'm like, I'm some pony, like making a statement that I'm such a pony guy. When
it's like I'm not trying to make a statement. It's just really fucking shirt.
Anymore. Right.
So I just stopped wearing them. It's like I don't care about this enough.
Right. But like
the one pony shirt I had, it was literally just because I liked the color and like the aesthetic of it. Right. It was not, a statement about anything.
And I'm very quiet around people I don't know and in public situations. Like even though I go to Wawa every day, I still am always very short with my responses and very quiet,
Yes.
I'm not the kind of guy who can strike up a conversation with somebody at random because I have nothing to say,
Yes.
But I admire those people. Like, whenever I'm at Wawa and, like, someone in front of me just starts talking to the register
like,
people about,
hell?
like, nothing.
Like, man, you could do that.
Yeah.
And they're totally cool about it. Like, almost every time that happens, whoever they're talking to is cool about it.
Right.
Which is, for me, I'm just like, I feel like if I did that, no one would be cool about it.
Yeah, our dad is that type of guy, where he'll start up conversations with people.
Or because, for me, it's like if someone
something.
starts a conversation with me, I'm totally just like, what? Like,
well,
what are you doing?
Like, if someone starts talking to me, I can handle it, but it really depends on, like, if it's just something I have a short answer for, I just give a short answer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really there to have a conversation, because I'm single-minded. I'm thinking about getting out of there. I'm already on my way out when I enter the door. But, like, compared to how I was before, it's completely different nonetheless. Like, even though I still act like that in those situations, like, if someone comes up to me for any reason, I am ready to be, like, smiley and say hi and be engaging, and, like, yeah, hey, what's up, man? Cool, bro, Like, I'm still not good at, like, topic of conversation, and, like...
You can put on the facade.
Right. And there's still some really awkward interactions I've had. Like, when I was at Otakon, there was a couple of guys who came up to me who were like, "You're Digi Bro."
I know you.
And, like, we shake hands, and I'm like, "Yeah." And they're just, like, standing there, and I'm like, so...
Like, it's like they expect something, and you're not sure how to deliver on that.
Well, I don't think it's that they expect something. It's that they want to be able to have a conversation, but they don't know what to say. Or they're too embarrassed to say it, so they just end up freezing up, And I see that sometimes. It's like there's nothing really I can do about that because I don't know who you are or what to say, Yeah. But then I have other fans who come up to me and like, "Dude, Digi Bro, yeah, I saw that K-On! Video. That was awesome." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my favorite show." And then like immediately we're best pals,
Yes.
Like at Otakon, for instance, there was like one or two guys who walked up to me and just kind of stood there, and then we really awkwardly walked away. But then there was like that dude who I met last year who came up to me when my foot was broken. You remember that? And we like happened to be filming right when that guy started talking to me. Yeah. He had said he followed me since like Fuza Kenna and shit. Like I met that guy at Otakon again, right outside the karaoke room again. It was just like he started walking with me and just the whole way we talked about what I was working on and like what's going on, because he just came up and asked like, "Oh yeah, man. So what have you been working on lately, man? I haven't kept up with your videos because I haven't had time, but." I'm interested to know what's going on, and I was telling him about my projects I'm working on and shit. It's like, as long as you come up to me with something in mind.
Yes, as long as you can keep conversation.
Right. And I mean, I've had this problem on Skype forever where there was a long time where I would accept everyone who sent me a Skype friend request. And anyone who messages me and says hi, I am not going to respond to you.
Yeah, that's some obnoxious shit.
Right.
It's not like if you got nothing to say,
right?
Don't start a conversation.
If you message me like,
or don't fucking bait a conversation with hi. It's like just get to the point.
No, yeah, like if I don't...
Because they probably have something to say, they just have to introduce it in an obnoxious way.
Well, if they do, then they usually say, "Can I ask you a question?"
Yeah.
To which I say, "Don't ask me, just fucking ask me the question." Because, you know...
You've already taken my fucking attention.
Right, exactly. Like, if I'm gonna read the response... Like, if I'm gonna read your thing at all, then I've already read it, you know? So you start with the question, don't ask permission. But when people just say hi, it's like... They somehow think that as long as they're talking to you, it'll be interesting, and it won't. Because I don't know who you are or what you want to talk about, or I don't have anything in mind.
So,
You know? I said at one point, when I first got, like, a whole lot of friends online, that I made every friend that I need, and I don't need any more friends. Because of the fact that, to me, the number of friends that are necessary to have is equal to the amount of conversations that you are capable of having, right? So, I'm capable of having conversations about YouTube, working on YouTube, or, like, working through YouTube. So, if you work through YouTube, we can have a conversation, you know?
Yes.
I'm capable of talking about anime. You know, I used to be capable of talking about My Little Pony. I don't talk to a lot of the people who I talked to that about before because I don't watch it anymore. So, you know, there's not a lot of conversations to be had. Like, you know, I can talk about philosophy. I can talk about certain elements of sociology or psychology and stuff like that. So, if people come to me with that kind of thing, we have a conversation.
Mm.
And I have people for all of that, you know? Like, the latest time that I made friends was, you know, once I got back into anime vlogging, then I didn't really have anybody to talk about anime with. So, eventually I made friends with a bunch of other anime bloggers, like Goat Jesus and Nino and stuff, and now I have friends I can talk about anime with, you know? So, like, to me, if I already have a friend I can talk about a certain thing with, then, you know, I don't need more. And in order to make new friends, you kind of have to leave yourself open. You have to say, like, well, everybody contact me, and I'll figure out which one of you I'm good to talk to, you know? And then you close the doors eventually when you've got enough people and you can't have any more. And it's like...
Yeah.
You know, friends are kind of a utilitarian thing. You have them because you need someone to bounce things off of.
Yeah.
You know, thoughts, feelings, shared experiences, ideas. You need someone who you can communicate them with. And I have those. And I like having fans and followers who aren't necessarily my friends, but who I am cool with.
Yeah,
you know?
it was cool.
Sort of like the people I usually meet at BronyCon, you know, where, like, I know who you are. I know I like hanging out with you and stuff, but, like, it doesn't mean we have to become friends. You know, like, I already have enough friends. It's cool to have people who are just kind of there.
Exactly.
Like most of the Digi Bros commenters. Like, I know who you guys are at this point because you comment on enough videos, you know. We also came up with the idea of the auxiliary, or ancillary horseshoe crew.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's, like, a certain group of people...
Like honorary members.
Yeah, like honorary members, but I want it to be more like a B team.
Yes.
Because there's like a handful of people who have asked several times if they can join. Past Analysis wants to join the horseshoe crew.
Shit.
The Devu wants to join the horseshoe crew. The Devu said... He left a comment and said, well, now that Jesse is no longer called Horseshoes, and he's called Endless Jess, you should change the name of your group to the Endless 8, and then add 2 new members to it to round out the numbers. And I was like, Devu, that is the most hilarious reasoning.
Bro, we're not gonna add you, bro.
And most people don't know, you didn't know until we told you that there are 7 members of the Horseshoe crew because of Mage.
Weird.
There's a girl named Mage who was one of the first reviewers, and she's good friends with Ben and Give and Take. And she was the one who first started the Skype group and called it the Horseshoe Crew. And then like, she doesn't comment nearly as much as everybody else. So I've never really gotten to know her personally. And, like, there's been, everyone else has been in calls with her except for me. I've just never managed to, like, actually talk to her, like, voice to voice. But, she's cool. And she's an official member of the crew. Just, like, she doesn't do the same stuff we do. So we don't usually, like, talk about her as much.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But it was funny because those guys keep asking, and it's like, you can't really join the Horseshoe Crew because, like, it's not a club.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we are all really good friends is why we hang out together, you know? Because it's not, because there's a lot of Skype groups that
start
are
adding
like
people
that.
and fuck up the group dynamic, goddammit.
Right, well, that's the problem, like, well, and I did that once where, well, I didn't fuck up the group dynamic, but, like, I threw my friend Skywatcher in there, like, early on, because I was like, Sky... because it's like more convenient sometimes if a bunch of people that I know are in one place, so I don't have to repeat the same information to multiple people. So it's like, Sky, you'd probably enjoy being in here, but like he just never had anything to say, so he eventually was like, I'm just gonna leave, you know.
Yeah. Tired of seeing these notifications.
Right. Yeah, and it's not like, because I think people think of it as like the other version of the Rift Cafe, which is where all the other analysis people hang out.
Gross.
And it's like, we didn't form this as a group because we're all...
What the fuck is the deal with the Rift? I still don't know the story of this.
Okay. The Rift, the concept of the Rift is that early into Brony reviewers and analysts and stuff back in 2013, one of the earliest guys to do it was this guy called ANY Pony, who me and him did some podcasts together in the early days called Crepuscular Bronies Discuss. And, oh, sorry, I just had to let you do that.
Yeah.
At some point, ANY Pony and this dude called Voice of Reason did a collaboration together. And they had, like, a sort of narrative in the video where the idea was that a rift had opened up in between their channels. Like, their channels existed in separate universes kind of thing. And a rift opens up, and Voice of Reason ends up on ANY Pony's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at this point, this is around the end of Season 3, and ANY Pony wanted to do, like, a bunch of collabs, so he kept using this concept of the rift opening up, and, like, people coming through the rift in order to collab. Well, then, this is around the time that reviewers started exploding. There's, like, a ton of them. So the idea was that there was a space in that rift where everyone was hanging out, and there was a cafe called the Rift Cafe. So the concept is that the Rift Cafe is where all the Brony reviewers and analysis people hang out when they're not collabing with each other in each other's videos. And so they formed this Skype group with like every person who had ever made a Brony review, which was like already like 50 to fucking 60 people at the time. And everyone's in this group, and like I don't know any of these people, and of course, as with anything, the most talkative people are the young ones who want the attention of the older people, you know? So, like, the conversations were always really obnoxious, and I think I lasted a few weeks in there, and then left, and, like, I don't think Jesse was ever invited in, but everyone else in the Horseshoe Crew has been in and left, except Mage. Gibbon lasted a really long time because he liked laughing at them. But Mage is still in there. So yeah. But the Rift ended up being like everyone who's like a reviewer ends up getting invited there at some point. So everyone's like aware of it, you know. Yeah. And consider themselves sort of members or whatever of the Rift.
Yeah.
But all of us in the Horseshoe Crew didn't like it, so we were all like, fuck that. But we didn't make our group as, like, an answer to the Rift. It's just we were all friends who were all talking to each other all the time anyways. And then we thought, why don't we make a Skype group, you know? And, like, yeah. So we have that for that purpose.
Is this episode long enough to end? Because we're going to get into a new thing.
Yeah, very soon. In fact, we could do it right now.
All right. Next time on Digi Bros,
I mean, you should probably kill these things.
We're gonna find the fucking Master Sword.
This place looks fucking rad.
This place is rad as shit.
This is the first place I really, really dig it.
This is a very neat segment of the game. Saving it for next time, bitches.
All right.
Next time on Digi
Look
Bros.
forward to it.
The goddamn Master Sword.
Sweet. Awesome.
Which is what I had forgotten to mention about the game opening up and, you know, the next arc of the game. Yeah, you find the Master Sword. That's a pretty big change.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Sweet.